Hi everyone. This is Nusrath. I'm an assistant professor in School of Life Sciences. The title of today's discussion is HIV and aging. My research area is medical microbiology and immunology, and I have two areas of specialization. One is in drug resistance in infectious diseases such as tuberculosis and HIV. This revolves around molecular biology and bioinformatics disciplines, and second covers the domain of HIV immunopathogenesis. It deals with the immunological, cellular, and biochemical aspects. Um, Much of my research has been transferred to um, reputed journals as articles and African for reviews and as well as three book chapters. Now, coming to the background of this present topic, that is HIV and aging. Although HIV infected individuals who receive combinational antiretroviral therapy have a longer life and compared to their untreated naive individuals. Even though their life will not be similar to that of the uninfected individuals. However, for some undefined reasons, these long-term treated HIV infected individuals die at a very early age and they do suffer from number of diseases that usually seen in the elderly population. So the reason behind this sufferings, that is suffering from numerous diseases or comorbid conditions, could be based on the concept of premature or accelerated aging. This could be because of the HIV infection itself, in one hand. On the other hand, because of the treatment taken for the HIV infected individuals, that is the antiretroviral treatment. So, in other words, both HIV infection or HIV infected individuals on treatment do have very strong perturbations in immune mechanisms. It can be, in fact, it has been proved also because of the perturbations in immune mechanisms such as immune activation, inflammation, immunosenescence, more particularly the disturbances in the T regulation, such as the, proliferation, differentiation, exhaustion. It may lead to the accelerated aging. So this illustration, which shows the a 30-year-old HIV infected female, physically they may be appearing very young, but their immunological status will be far ahead in the sense more than 10 to 15 years uh, uh, ahead they will be. So the reason behind this premature aging could be because of the residual immune activation despite of the combination antiretroviral treatment. Therefore, this forms or prompts us to explore further into this background of HIV and aging. So the aim of our study was to understand the impact of biomarker levels on premature onset of aging-associated diseases in HIV infected and treated individuals. The study population constitutes three groups. That is, one is HIV positive individuals on antiretroviral treatment of around 68 in numbers. Second is the healthy controls of the donors of around 16 numbers. The third cohort is antiretroviral treatment needs individuals of around 20. So the comparisons was done between age and sex matched individuals amongst the cohorts, and the target population is predominantly T cells and its subsets. After getting into the 3D cells, further into the CD4 and CD8 cells. Now, this study comprises of three objectives. The first and foremost is the phenotypic analysis. Herein, hematological and biochemical analysis were done mainly for detecting the abnormalities that are related to the non-AIDS related comorbidities or aging associated disorders. Secondly, the immunological analysis for mechanisms such as immune activation, cell proliferation, immune differentiation, immunosenescence, and immune regulations, as well as the to know the expression of cytolytic granules and cytokines. The markers and I'll be disclosing in my subsequent slides in detail. Third objective is the cellular analysis, clearing to perform the measurement or determination of telomere length using related real-time PCR method in isolated PBMCs. So now coming to the characteristics of HIV positive individuals on antiretroviral treatment. Study, as mentioned in my previous slide, study participants of around 68 members were taken, of amongst which 58.8% constitutes the males and 41% constitutes the females. And with respect to the antiretroviral treatment duration, lesser than 5 years, 18 individuals received treatment lesser than 5 years, and 50 individuals received treatment lesser than greater than 5 years. We obtained the ethical approval from IRGK Institutional Review Board of respective number. Now coming to the antiretroviral treatment regimens, details of the treatment regimen. 79.4% of the HIV positive individuals received treatment based on both first and second line drugs, that is NRTs and integrase inhibitors. 61.1% received treatment based on first line drugs, and around 3% of individuals received treatment based on second line drugs and again first line drugs. Now, the treatment which was received on the basis of nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors, the drugs under this category were drugs that were used under this category are tenofovir disoproxil fumarate, lamivudine, tenofovir alafenamide, and emtricitabine. And amongst integrase inhibitor, dolutegravir was used. And amongst non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors, efavirenz was used. And amongst protease inhibitors, both protinavir and darunavir was used. Now, the regimen comprises of predominantly two nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors, that is the first line drug with one second line drug, that is integrase inhibitor. So this is abbreviated as for simplicity, TLD. TLD comprises of again three category of drugs, that is tenofovir disoproxil fumarate, lamivudine, and dolutegravir. And in case of the purely first line regimen, that comprises of both NNRTAs and non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors and nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors is TLD abbreviated as, excepting in case of dolutegravir, efavirenz was substituted. Now coming to the hematological analysis, we observe a very significant difference between the mean corpuscular volume between healthy controls and HIV positive individuals, and then we did not find much difference between these two cohorts with respect to all other parameters that were analyzed under hematological aspects. Now, among the abnormalities that were determined, where anemia was observed in 23.5%, lymphopenia in 10.3%, neutrophilia in 14.7%, eosinophilia in 20.5% was observed in our study. Now, coming to the biochemical analysis, with respect to the lipid parameters, we observed a very, a very high level of abnormalities, especially in the bad cholesterol, and a very lower level of abnormalities in the good cholesterol of around only 2.1%. So we have got a higher level with respect to VLDL of around 30, LDL 18.5, triglyceride, both VLDL and triglyceride were in the ranges of 30. And then we have got 18.5 and 18.5 again for LDL and total cholesterol. So we are having a very good, on an average, very good percentages for bad cholesterol in comparison to the good cholesterol. Now coming to the liver function test. Herein we got a similar range for both the transaminases such as the aspartate and alanine transaminases. Then we got 30 series for alkaline phosphatase and 18.7 for bilirubin. Now coming to the renal function test, we determine parameters such as urea and creatinine of 19 and 27, that is 28% respectively. We determined the random blood glucose of 20%, 20.2, and HbA1c in our analysis was found to be 32.6%. We also determined BMI characteristics, and as well as we estimated the blood sugar. So the BMI analysis, that is anthropometric analysis, revealed that majority of our individuals, say around 47.5% were normal in this category, and 23.7% were obese, and 26.7% were overweight. And with respect to the um, uh, blood pressure level, again, around 44.7% were found to be normal, and 30% were having higher level, and 13.8% were high, and 9.45% are found to be elevated. So overall, these observations suggest that our individuals are the HIV positive cohorts should increase, like they increasingly require careful monitoring and evaluation for heart-related problems, so as to um, overcome the comorbidities due to aging and treatment effects. Now, this illustration shows the expression of immune activation markers. This is nothing but the control plot. So this is the single level expression, and this is the double expression. The upper panel shows the CD4 cells, the lower panel shows the CD8 cells. Herein we did the correlation analysis between two important components. One is the correlation of the high level of viral loads with that of the expression of high level expression of immune activation markers. Secondly, we did also the correlation between the CD4 CD8 ratio with that of the high level expression of immune activation markers. We found that the viral load was very positively correlated with the increased expression of CD38 and HLA-DR markers on CD4 cells. Similarly, the ratio CD4-CD8 ratio was positively correlated with the increased expression of HIV HLA-DR levels both in CD4 and CD8 cells. Now, this is the expression. This illustration shows the expression of senescent markers in CD8 cells exclusively. So, this is the whole blood. This is the PBMCs, isolated PBMCs, and from the isolated PBMCs, the singlet cells were gated, and these gated singlet cells were further gated for CD3 cells, and from the CD3 cells, CD4 cells, and CD8 cells were further gated. And in the gated study, the gated CD8 cells, the CD28 cells were gated for the positive expression, and in the negative zone of the CD28 marker, the double expression of markers such as CD57 KLRG1 was noted because this region comprises what is called as the senescent cells. So we found a very significant difference between the HIV positive individuals and HIV, I mean healthy controls for in terms of the expression of CD28 negative marker expression, and then the high level of expression was found in HIV in comparison to the healthy controls, and we found a very significant difference with respect to this particular marker expressions amongst these two cohorts. Now coming to the expression of cytolytic granules and cytokine on the senescent cells, and here in the negative zone, the expression was shown with respect to the cytolytic granules such as perforin, granozyme B, and cytokine interferon gamma, along with the another predominant immunosenescent marker such as CD57. Now, this illustration shows both the upper panel shows the single expression and double expression of the differentiation markers in CD4 T cells of HIV infected individuals. And this graph represents that there is a significant difference between the expression of the naive cell population and the effector memory population between the HIV positive individuals and healthy controls in our cohort. Now this illustration shows the expression of another differentiation markers such as CD27 and CD45RO in both CD4 and CD8 cells in HIV infected individuals. As such, we did not find any significant difference amongst all type of cell populations such as naive cells, central memory, effector memory, and terminally differentiated cells with respect to these two markers in our study. Now, this illustration shows the expression pattern of cytolytic granules in CD8 cells of HIV infected individuals. Now, this one is the expression of granules in E. This illustration and this particular one is showing the expression of granules in B, and this is for granulation and perforin. With respect to the observation, we studied comparatively higher expression of granules in AB was found. Moderate level of expression was found with respect to granulation and low level expression was found with respect to the perforant, both in HIV positive individuals and healthy controls. With respect to the expression of all the effector molecules was found to be higher dominantly in CD8 cells in comparison to the CD4 cells, signifying the fact that the cytotoxic potentiality of CD8 cells among HIV infected individuals on suppressive ART, antiretroviral treatment. Now, this illustration shows the expression of T-regulatory markers in CD4 T cells of HIV-infected individuals. So, after gating and separating from the CD3 cells, the CD4 positive cell population were further gated for positive expression of CD25 markers. The CD25 positive cells were further gated for the expression of CD127 negative and phospho-3 cells. These cells are otherwise called as the regulatory T cells or Treg cells. So in our analysis, we found a significant difference between healthy controls and HIV positive individuals in terms of the expression of CD25 marker and as well as the double positive, that is CD25 positive and phospho-3 positive cells. Now, this illustration shows the expression of the proliferative markers, that is Ki67, both in CD4 and CD8 cells. The expression profile shows that there is a significant difference in terms of the expression of Ki67, which is higher in CD8 cells in comparison to the CD4 cells. Now, in contrast, we did not find much difference in terms of the expression of immune exhaustion markers, that is PD1, between CD4 and CD8 cells of HIV infected individuals in our cohort. Now, this is the cellular analysis wherein we did the measurement of telomere length using quantitative PCR, that is real-time PCR. And TL was determined to understand the level of cellular or replicative senescence, and it was measured using relative human telomere length quantification as a kit. And the kit was provided with the primers for amplifying the telomeres both in the samples and as well as the controls, and also the primer for housekeeping gene was also provided along with the kit. And the assay was performed, that is, the real-time PCR was performed in the applied biosystems by following the respective temperature ranges and timings as shown in the table column. Now, in this analysis also, we found a very significant difference between the HIV positive individuals and healthy controls in terms of the length, that the mean length of telomere length was found to be 4.1 in healthy controls and 2.1 in HIV positive individuals, with significant difference between them. Hence, to summarize, in our analysis, the CD4 count indicates the success of antiretroviral treatment in a way that majority of our individuals, that is 67.6, showed greater than 500 cells per microliter of blood. 23.5% showed ranges between 200 to 500, and 8.8% showed lesser than 200 cells per microliter of blood. Interestingly, our viral load analysis also suggests undetectable levels in majority of our individuals. This signifies again the positive impact of antiretroviral treatment. Hematological analysis demonstrated the presence of abnormalities such as anemia, lymphopenia, neutropenia, and eosinophilia. Further, biochemical analysis suggests perturbations in lipid profiles, and therefore predisposition to cardiovascular diseases, and recommends careful monitoring. Immunological analysis, more particularly the immune activation, T cell regulation, and differentiation pertaining to CD57 and CD45 RA suggests a significant difference between the healthy control and HIV positive individuals on antiretroviral treatment. Effector molecules expression was found to be very high in CD8 cells in comparison to the CD4 cells in HIV infected individuals. Cellular analysis again signifies shows a significant difference between the healthy controls and HIV positive individuals. So, based on the primitive experience or primary experience from our findings and analysis, which made us to think or have queries such as how immunosenescence or other immunological correlates leads to comorbid situations such as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and other comorbid situations. To be precise, which exact pathway or mechanisms or networks are associated or it leads to these comorbid situations. Although many have been studied with respect to the biological aging and comorbid situation, but much is not being explored in the background of HIV. Again, the same applies. How can these comorbidities be prevented and treated in the context of in the background of HIV? So, thank you for your attention.